Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Time for some more StarCraft 2 commentary, and I have been pumping these bad boys out this week, so hopefully they are keeping you all entertained, and I'm excited for this one. We have got a series here between Minigun and IdrA. We can see this time, starting things off here on Shakura's Plateau, we do have Minigun spotting in the lower right-hand position as our blue Protoss player, and then down over here in the lower left-hand position, IdrA as our green Zerg player. This will go ahead and this will be the first commentary series for the day, IdrA versus Minigun. And again, we're obviously going to see how this one plays out. It does look like Minigun will be going Forge Fast Expand to start out with. Now, I do plan on doing some more commentaries for the day. Hopefully, I will be able to get out a Protoss strategy video. I've got still the Protoss and Zerg strategy remaining for the week, so certainly keep an eye out for that. Still waiting on news for the Diablo 3 closed beta start, and that hopefully should be sometime soon. It could be today or tomorrow. If not, you know, certainly it is possible that it'll get pushed into next week, but hopefully that is not the case. Again, anything's possible when it comes to Blizzard. They like to delay things. So anyways, we're going to see right now Minigun moving out to scout IdrA's base. He'll be moving directly into that. This is likely to force IdrA to start off on one base play as opposed to going for hatch first. Going hatch first when you have been scouted out immediately makes you susceptible to a lot of possible harass from your Protoss opponent. And this map, very well known in PvZ for the Protoss player going Forge Fast Expand, so trying to drop a 15 hatch after you've been scouted immediately pretty much opens you up for guaranteed cannon harass at your expansion. So there you go. As we mentioned, we can see IdrA is coming down with that pull first, as is expected. Now right now we will actually be seeing Minigun drop the Nexus first before he drops his Forge or first cannon. He has decided to go ahead and get that Nexus right away, and then we will immediately be seeing that Forge next with the next 150 resources, and then once that finishes, we should be seeing a cannon as well as a gateway. Can see IdrA now scouting out with his Overlord. He now, of course, knows where Minigun is. He will want to actually cut his Overlord right on over just to check to see if that Forge Fast Expand is coming through. Obviously, it's expected, but there's no way to know for certain until you've scouted it out. As we can see here, Minigun, in fact, deciding to go with a little bit of pylon harass. Now, is he going to let it finish, or will he cancel it? Looks like he does let it finish there. So Minigun go ahead and letting that finish. That is going to force IdrA's first 4 Zerglings to actually go ahead and engage that, allowing IdrA to drop down the hatchery immediately after that does finish. We can see still no extractor right now for IdrA. He just will be droning up and working with those unupgraded speedlings for the early stages of the game. Back over here, we can see that Forge coming on through. There's the gateway as well, and we should be seeing at least 1 to 2 photon cannons get placed down here for Minigun. And then right dead center, we're going to expect that Cybernex core to get placed there. So as mentioned, IdrA has scouted it out again. Just wanted to confirm the fact that this was indeed coming. And we can see IdrA has actually decided to drop the first expansion right over here. Now, will he also be getting an expo here? Will he go straight for the 3? Yes, he will. IdrA going straight for that 3rd expansion almost immediately. Very risky indeed. This is going to put IdrA in a position where he is 1 base above Minigun, but if Minigun scouts out that 3rd, we could see a strong 2-base push here. Gateway heavy could certainly do very, very well for him. Minigun just sticking with that 1 cannon right now. At the moment, that is all he really needs. Now, does he have any? Yes, he does have a scouting probe out here. That does get spotted by IdrA, though, and cornered, and Minigun finally pathing it through, just barely making it, but it doesn't look like he's going to make it for much longer. Here comes a 2nd Zergling, so see you later. Unfortunately for Minigun now, he really has no method of scouting. This is a full wall off. It appears to be the case, at least. It's possible there's a space in there. I don't believe so, though. It does look like that is airtight. So yes, no space there. So Minigun won't be able to get any scouting done until he destroys one of these buildings to move out units, or he could just use the Zealot to try to do some scouting, although that is a little bit risky. He will need to be a little bit wary if he does decide to move out with that. But you know what, for scouting purposes, it may be worth it because he really does need to get the information as to exactly what IdrA is doing, and at the moment he's got no other means. He also has that Stalker coming out, so he could wait for both of them and move out in tandem with the Zealot and Stalker. Now we will have to wait and see another minute or two until we figure out what Minigun is deciding to do for a transition. Gateway heavy push is very probable and certainly very effective as well. Minigun getting a couple more shots off on IdrA's units. Now back over here for IdrA. He will be droning up very hard. Again, still no gas. Finally just getting some extractors right now. He has waited so long, though. You can see plus 40 supply at the moment to get those extractors up, simply because he is wanting to be able to drone up very hard, given the fact that he does have that quick 3rd. Now we can see that first Zealot as well. Stalker is moving out as I expected, and here comes the ever-important scouting. Obviously that natural is to be expected, but he should really be checking that 3rd as well. I'm going to say that's very, very important. We're going to see move on up and actually start to work on IdrA's Queen, and IdrA's going to need to be careful. Definitely does not want to lose this. We've got 6 more Zerglings coming out. and that should be enough to deal with this. Looks like that Delic getting a full surround there. That gets taken out. Stalker will be moving up for Minigun. He is getting that ever crucial scouting. Now he will spot the fact that there is in fact just the spawning pool, nothing else, and no layer. That is very telling to Minigun indeed. This should tip him off to the fact that IdrA very likely has that third expansion. We can see that Stalker trying to move, and actually, is he going to make it to scout out the third? It's going to be a little close. It looks like he might have just enough health to be able to make it up there, and unbelievably not losing the Stalker before he manages to scout out that third expansion. Very nice there by Minigun. That's precisely the information he needs. So now here's the point of decision for Minigun. He can either try to push out very strong off of these two bases and take out IdrA's third expansion very quickly, or he could try to, you know, work up a little bit larger of an army and possibly try to work into his third as well. But we can see Twilight Council is going down right now. We do have a robotics coming out. 2 gateways getting warped in over here. Another gateway getting warped in over here as well. Why is he spreading these out? Why isn't he just lumping up all of his production buildings in one spot? Well, this is because we do expect secondary scouting from IdrA in the form of sacrificial overlords, or at least that is a likely thing to happen, and so as a result of spreading them out, it's going to make it a little more difficult for IdrA to actually scout it out. Now, as we can see, IdrA is in the main base there with this overlord. It is finally getting taken out. He did spot the warp in of that 1 gateway, but didn't see these other 3 here, and actually total we're going to have 5, 6 gateways, and there's gateway number 7 plus the robotics. Minigun is certainly going to plan a very strong 2-gate push here. We do have the level 1 weapons upgrade coming out as well as that blink research, so we'll be blink stalkers utilizing that mobility, and we will have to see how effective this is going to be against IdrA's quick third expansion. Roach Warren is up, finally coming out with that Roach speed. We've got the level 1 melee upgrade coming out as well for IdrA. The layer is up and running. Obviously, that is necessary for that Roach speed to come on through. IdrA does have some decent saturation here at the 3 bases, so looking to have a very strong economy. Let me take a quick look here. Yes, IdrA is indeed ahead at the moment. Unit loss tab, there hasn't been a ton of action, but so far Minigun is slightly behind. It's really going to come down to how effective this push is from Minigun off of the 2 bases. He should have another Cybernex core coming in, and yeah, there it is. So another Cybernex core is coming on through as he's getting ready to destroy this one to push on out. He does have also a Warp Prism coming out, so we'll be incorporating some Warp Prism harass into this mix as well. There's that blink research just about finished, so we will be seeing a very, very strong push from Minigun very shortly right now. He has finally busted through the wall, getting ready to move across the map. IdrA will be aware of this coming due to the scouting Zerglings situated right outside of Minigun's base, so this should allow IdrA to prepare for this. Lots more roaches coming out. Let's take a look at the total count right now. We've got 14 roaches in play, 17 more on the way right now, so he will be very roach heavy. The blink stalkers, though, with some proper micro, plus those sentries with some force fields and guardian shields, could certainly help quite a bit against that mass amount of roaches. Just getting that infestation pit right now, he will be sitting very roach heavy for this first engagement. We have a couple sentries being loaded up into that warp prism, and what is the plan here? Will he be dropping into the main? It looks like he will, and IdrA not scouting out this position right now. Oh, IdRA's finally going to be able to see, though, because Minigun chose this position for that drop. And oh no, force field's gonna go down on the ramp. Watch this. Oh no, blink stalkers up on the high ground. Force field's on the ramp. Let's see some more stalkers getting warped in. This is ridiculous here from Minigun. He is going to keep IdrA out of his main base and go to town on the tech, take out the layer and everything else. The sentries will just be sitting by this ramp, dropping the force field if IdrA decides to push forward with it. We've got a counterattack ready. A couple sentries trying to protect Minigun from this counterattack, and moving in with those Zerglings. They'll get a full surround on the sentries. At the same time, Stalker's going to town right now, taking out the evolution chamber. That Roach Warren has been dropped as well. IdrA rebuilding the Roach Warren. More roaches pushing out, but some more force fields. Minigun totally abusing the force fields this game, keeping IdrA from protecting his main, also keeping him from pushing onto Minigun's natural. Very impressive defense here so far from Minigun. He continues to go to work, finally has taken out the layer. He took out the layer and the Roach Warren. Now moving on to that expansion. IdrA trying to do what he can to continue to push, but cannot contend with these force fields. What a timing push from IdrA. Burrow research would have helped him tremendously. What a time push from Minigun against IdrA. Burrow research would have helped him tremendously. Unfortunately, lacking that. And IdrA, not feeling like it was a good game, decides not to call it and just ups and leaves. Minigun opened up this game with a Forge Fast Expand build. In response to scouting that out, we did see IdrA take a quick third expansion. Minigun pushed out with his first Zealot Stalker to get some scouting done. First thing he did was check that natural expansion. He then worked his way right up into the main of IdrA to scout out the tech, spotting no lair, spawning no Roach Warren or anything like that. Immediately tipped him off to move towards IdrA's third expansion to see if that had happened. And he finally did manage to sneak that Stalker on over to the third, and this was some pretty crucial scouting for Minigun. We then saw Minigun work his way up to a 6-gate Robo, also getting the Blink research from his Twilight Council and coming out with an initial Warp Prism. Minigun then pushed towards IdrA's main, first dropping the sentries into the main with the Warp Prism, using this to force field IdrA out of the main base. Blink Stalkers up onto the high ground, more Blink Stalkers warped in from that Warp Prism, and with the constant force field wall, he was able to effectively keep IdrA from protecting his main, snipe out the Evolution Chamber Roach Warren, as well as the lair. IdrA pushed out for a counterattack, however, building some cannons as well as warping in a few sentries to drop force field walls was more than enough to protect Minigun from IdrA's counter push, and this is what led to the GG, or the lack of GG. Very interesting game number 1 here between IdrA and Minigun. IdrA obviously not too happy with the strength of the force field against Zerg during the early stages of the game. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this first game. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. We will be moving on to game number 2 between these players in just one moment. And as always, guys, keep watching and keep owning.